All right, Derek Hamm against Bill Webb, the youngster versus the veteran. Let's see who will prevail as Derek Hamm coming after a big win. He knocked out Copeland. We talked about that in the opener. And the youngster who hasn't been here before, dealing okay with the bright lights of TV here at Silver Lanes in East Hartford. And here's Hamm out of the gate. And he introduces himself to Bill Webb on the right note.
Just like he did to open up the match against Miles Copeland, he stuffs it perfectly. Got to feel good about that shot.
And Bill Webb, we didn't get to see him, but a lot of bowlers, creatures of habit. So while the semifinals was going down, I bet you he was probably about 20 lanes down to the right of us, throwing balls down at those pins.
You got to stay loose. Yep, you got to stay loose.
So here's Webb, very calm, cool, and collected. Good approach, keeps his head up. You saw that as he knocked out his pal, Chris Alley.
That's a good shot to start the match. He leaves a 4-pin a little bit high. Billy was telling me right before this match that on this pair right now, he is more further right than he has been all day on any pair. And what that's doing is it's kind of questioning. It's leaving that little bit of question in your own mind how you're going to move. It's going to play a big part of this match. Who's going to make those adjustments?
So we have a little look down at the ball. Straight down at the 4-pin. And an easy spare for him there.
So you pretty much bowl all day on this pair. You know how the lanes transition and break down. You get into the final match and they're not breaking down the way you've seen all day long. So it's really, this is what champions are made of right here. Both bowlers. Derek told me that he's playing a line that he hadn't played all day as well. So that's what makes champions, you know.
You got to make that in-game adjustment. Bill Webb, a 7-time bowler of the year. And we'll leave one up yet again. It's the 8-pin, and on his approach, very calm, cool, and collected. Kind of knows where he wants to put his feet, and then he whips that ball on back and follows on through.
Always. You know, part of being such a great bowler, especially a tournament bowler, is not allowing your opponent to think that you're questioning anything. And Billy never opens that door. He always looks like he knows exactly what he's doing. He's searching right now. He's playing around and he's trying to figure the right line to the pocket, but he's never going to show his opponent that he's struggling.
And able to respond and get the spare there. And I know how important it is and how difficult it is to bowl a 300 game. I'm lucky to get over 100 when I go out bowling. And Bill Webb, 65 300 games.
It's insane, but if you watch this guy bowl as much as I do, it absolutely makes sense. He does everything right.
He did everything right in this tournament to get to this title match. And it's youngster Derek Hamm that is trying to keep with the routine and get himself his first title.
So Derek goes high, he leaves the 3-6 spare. I noticed that he was further right on the approach on that shot than he was on lane 23 when he started off the match and threw a strike. I don't know if that was an adjustment or just a mistake on how he lined up.
So last time on the telecast, we were up in Windsor, Connecticut at Bradley Bowl, and you were talking about the different types of balls, and there was the one ball to kind of spread the oil out. We haven't seen that here yet and through the semifinals or this championship game.
So the more aggressive bowling balls are typically used in the beginning of your bowling, and that's when the heaviest amount of oil is on the lanes, and they actually soak up the oil into the bowling ball, and they actually push the oil down the lane further, which causes the first 15 feet of the lane to dry out a little bit. That definitely has happened in this match. But as you saw people go to the left, you don't have that comfort in moving left with your feet and throwing it right with your target and getting the ball to finish back. You saw Miles miss the head pin right, he missed it left, he missed it right. So it's really interesting how the lanes are transitioning. Now he moved far to the left on that shot right there, and he threw it in a spot where he thought would come back. It did not.
And it stayed right.
Exactly.
So here is Derek Hamm on that ball, stayed right. He was waiting for it to come back, and what he wanted to do, right in the middle part of the lane, last 3 quarters, wanted it to hook back, hit that front pin. He's got to make an adjustment here on his thumb.
So if you notice, Derek actually moved left with his feet. He got the ball to about 10-11 at the break point, the 10th or 11th board. He needs to keep it into about the 14th board to be in the here on with more aggressive stuff. It may cause the ball to hook more. So if you're in that deep, you throw the ball where you think it should be, it goes high. What you want to do is just throw it out a little bit more, and it hangs and it doesn't come back. So you're in this transition area on the lane. So what experience would tell you to do is don't throw the hook. Get to a point where you can, what we call frozen rope. You want to throw darts at the 1-3, try to get 9 spare and stay away from splits. There's nobody better than Billy Webb to do that. He's going to throw harder and straighter at the pocket, and he's not going to hurt himself.
Here's Bill Webb on the approach. And he's able to get the soft strike, as I'll call it.
That's a big break by Billy. You know, he actually moved to the right. He's trying to play the angle. He's trying to point the ball into the pocket as opposed to letting the ball hook that much. He got a big break right there, but harder and straighter is greater on a tough shot like this.
So it's similar to aiming the ball as a pitcher compared to throwing the ball and hitting the spot.
Yeah, exactly.
When you aim, that could lead to a lot of home runs.
Right.
Or walks.
So Billy's lining up on the left lane right here like he lined up on the right lane. I think he's going to just play the oil, go harder and straighter. Nobody's been outside of 10. That ball went up 11. He's in the pocket. He's not going to hurt himself.
And he's get that final explosion. Complete opposite of what he had on lane 24, where it was a soft strike. He gets the big strike on 23. And at the end of this, we'll have a check presentation with Joe Naru, the tournament director. Will it be Bill Webb, the veteran, as he'll claim his 14th title? Will be this guy, Derek Hamm, his first title here in NEBA.
So right now, Derek is in the middle. He knows if he moves left, he's not going to come back to the pocket. If he stays where he is, he's just going to pound the head pin and leave tough spares. He really has to just go harder and straighter, take the wrist out of it, take the big variable, which is that hook, take it out, throw harder and straighter, try to hit the pocket, get a break here and there, make your spares. But right now, you're seeing what the experience that Billy Webb has. He's just going to not hurt himself.
Well, a big spare right there. Bill Webb, even with a golf clap for his opposition, Derek Hamm.
You know, I noticed the sportsmanship too in this tournament. It's great. These guys know each other. They have respect for each other. They slap each other 5 when they do well, and they encourage each other. It's great. Right now, Billy Webb's got about a 20-pin lead. That's a great shot by Derek right there. He moved another 3 or 4 boards left, and he got away from the 15th board. He kind of backdoored the head pin. See how far left he is? He gets that ball around the 4th arrow. It doesn't go too far out. It goes long. He may have found something right there with that shot.
Really no signs of emotion from Bill Webb, whether it's actually no excitement shots. You've seen the frustrated or the questionable shots reaction.
Billy throws a strike right here. He's up 30 pins.
He called for you, and it delivered. But still see, look, he's upset at himself.
Yeah, I don't know if he's upset, but he's questioning. He's like, I haven't seen this all day. I don't understand why it's working, but it is. I got to keep doing this.
He came smile, Doc. Smile once in a while.
Well, he will if he's accepting the check, maybe. So he's just learning. The move he's making, it's working. Maybe he doesn't understand why. He hasn't seen it all day, but he's going to keep doing it. And he's going to keep his speed up. He's going to keep himself out of trouble. He's not going to hook the ball too much. He doesn't want to miss right. He doesn't want the ball to come back. You just put it there and just let it roll. And if you get lucky enough to carry 10, you're going to be in the driver's seat.
Young championship match. Bill Webb. And he leaves one on up. That's what he saw through the first couple frames as the 2-pin stays standing.
And again, when Billy doesn't strike, he's not going to get in a lot of trouble because he's going harder and straighter. 9 spares.
As dumb as this might sound, when you're bowling, do you think the pins are your friends or your enemies?
I hate the pins. I hate them all. They're my enemies all the time. I want to destroy them. I don't want to throw just strikes either. I want loud strikes. I want them flying all over the place. It's just how I am.
The loud strikes grab the attention.
Yeah.
And the lowly spares still count for good shots.
You know, we've seen matches where a 9 spare is going to hurt you, right? But through attrition, this whole tournament has been about don't throw any pins away. You get your 9, make your spare. Don't worry about it because the scores really were not high during the tournament.
First time CPTV Sports is up at Bradley Bowl, up in Windsor. A youngster wound up taking the title. Right now the veteran Bill Webb in the lead, but here's Derek Hamm trying to think of something different. And he gets the big strike there, and that's where the pins were his friend.
Yeah, I guess you can say they were friendly at that time. They certainly gave him the break. When you move that far to the left, you have to slow the ball down a little bit to give it a chance to come back.
His body was literally right at that median part to separate the bumpers from lane 23 to 24.
Right. He's definitely moved to the left, trying to pick up more head oil. When you pick up more head oil, the ball saves the energy for the back end. So you don't want the ball to start hooking early. We're going to see him. He's standing right about 25, and he's going to start drifting to the left. That's a good shot right there, too.
Doesn't get the lucky snap with the pin off the sidewall to come back and get him a strike like he did on lane 24.
We don't have the benefit. The tell scores aren't telling us how fast the ball is. But again, when you move left for a righty or move right for a lefty into the heavy oil, you have to slow the ball down a little bit and give it a chance to roll.
You shouldn't have told me about that with the miles per hour. Now I'm very curious.
You're gaining so much experience. If you ever join a league, you're going to average 200.
If I'm ever going to join a league, yeah, I better win something because I have you as my coach. So Hamm able to get the spare on that one. And now he's starting to think about it.
So Billy's up 20 pins right here. Again, he's just thinking, I got to stay clean. I got to make good shots. I don't want to hook the ball too much. I don't want to miss the pocket. I want to keep the ball in the 1-3, give myself a chance to throw a strike. If I don't, a 9, something makeable. But he definitely has the advantage because he throws the ball harder and straighter with revs, with a great release. Just a little high, not a big problem, 9 spare.
But it's good to make the mistakes when you're up already.
Especially, too, that your opponent's not throwing 2, 3, 4 baggers at you. Oh, that was another thing, right? 4 baggers, you heard of that, right?
No, I don't think I heard about
3
that.
3 bagger, 4 bagger, 4 in a row.
The Greek church.
That's your
I
favorite.
remember that one.
Grandma's teeth.
Grandma's teeth. So here's Webb looking for the spare. Yeah, 7th frame. And he got it there.
So
now, we saw that segment on the shoes. Let's break down Bill Webb's shoes.
Well,
Here, very interesting on the one sneaker and the slider, and the interchangeable on the heel.
some people use a regular sneaker on their push-off foot just so they know that it's going to be frictionless every time they do it. Some people use those interchangeable soles because when you go to bowling centers, I could tell the approaches here, they're wood. It's synthetic lanes, but they're wood approaches. So you want to make sure that you have a consistent feel with your shoes. So there may be times where you just throw that interchangeable sole on if you want more tackiness or if you want a little bit more slide. But this is a pretty unique bowling center. Again, the wood approaches, but the synthetic lanes, two separate surfaces.
Starting to get the energy.
Yeah, great shot. Billy, here's what experience does for you. Righties usually move further left to catch oil. Billy knows that nobody's been playing to the right all day, so he can actually move a little bit to the right and be on a fresh pair of lanes because nobody's played it. So he's using that experience right now to go a little harder, a little straighter, and stay out of trouble. He's doing a great job.
Getting late in this championship match between Bill Webb and Derek Hamm. And big strike by Hamm.
That's a great shot right there. He did everything right with his body. Arm swing was perfect. Roll was perfect. It's just very difficult to repeat shots on this pair for some reason. They may be a little bit different, just the way they transition, the way they broke down. He definitely needs to throw a double here.
And similar to the pressure of golf, where all eyes are on you, the individual.
That went out to the right. So he moves left. He throws the ball that he thinks is a perfect shot because if he missed a little left, the ball would have went right into the Brooklyn side. So he moves left with his body, he throws it where he needs to throw it, and he just catches that little oil right about there at 45 feet. It doesn't have everything it needs to come back. He just made it very, very easy for Billy to win this match.
And you can see how it skidded a little bit and had that last bite. And there it just stayed right.
Yeah, there's your wood. What he was trying to do, he moved way left, and he had a plastic bowling ball. He was going to try to skate the ball into the 1-3 pocket, but from that angle to the far left, so the ball can actually hit the 1 in the 6 pin. But he missed with his timing a little bit, and he only got 1. Billy's really in the driver's seat right now.
So the veteran Bill Webb, eyes on the prize here in the August tournament right now is that Achilles heel, that 1 pin. It's been changing on up on him.
But here's the thing you have to realize when you're bowling in a tournament like this. He's not bowling a great score, but his opponent's not throwing anything huge at him anyway, so he doesn't have to. He's just staying out of trouble. He hasn't thrown a split. He's thrown 9s or strikes every frame. That's what's going to win the match today.
What do they say in sports? It doesn't matter if it's ugly or pretty, a win's a win.
That's right. Now, the best Billy can throw is 227, and that's really not a huge score. But today on this condition,
246.
Exactly. But on this condition, he's mature enough and experienced enough to know that's all it's going to take.
That's all he needed. He stayed out of trouble this entire match. And he gets that friendly bounce to get that last 10 pin in the corner for a strike.
So we lost our mojo for the new champion. This will be title number 14 for Bill.
Yeah, a veteran though.
Yep.
We had a nice rookie at Bradley Bowl. Here at Silver Lanes, the veterans prevail.
Exactly. You know, Chris Wood is the assistant manager here at Silver Lanes, and he told me that this is not a house shot. This is a tournament shot specific for the NEBA tournament. They oiled a little bit further down the lane. I think they went 32 feet with the oil, and they buffed to like 42 feet. So there's a lot of oil on the lane, and it's not super heavy in the middle, super dry on the ends. It's pretty even. So when you miss to the right, you're not going to get away with it. And that's why I think the veterans really rose to the top in this tournament.
And we'll see if Bill Webb able to crack a smile at the end of this. And still nothing. He'll come on over to the sideline, get a couple of congratulations. But Derek Hamm looking to finish on up.
Perfect way to end the tournament.
This is the best finish for Derek Hamm to date in his career. There's nothing to hang your head on.
You know, Derek bowled great, and
Yeah.
he did the traditional thing that you normally do. You move left to get more oil when the ball's not reacting the way you want it to. But maybe he learned a little something watching Billy today. Sometimes moving right where nobody's playing is the right move, harder and straighter.
So Hamm looking to finish up strong here. To finish up as the runner-up. And in this NEBA tournament, they've been here over the course of the weekend. And we give you the semifinals and the championship match. And a lot of these bowlers, when they get exited, they exit quick.
They're out of here.
And that'll do it. Bill Webb congratulating his opponent there in Derek Hamm. And we'll take a break here on CPTV Sports, and we'll come on back with an interview with the champion here in the August tournament of the New England Bowlers Association, Bill Webb, as well as the check presentation from the tournament director, Joe Naru.